Today's news highlights 20250923. Date September 23, 2025. Republic of China September 23, 114. Time cutoff point, 1500 hours on the same day. Source, Internet, major news media and channels, official accounts, app data. The channel content is only concise news content and does not have any perception or emotion. News highlights: the autumn equinox in 2025 will be at 2:19 a.m. on September 23, the 16th of the 24 solar terms. At this time, the day and night are equally long, and then the white is short and the night is long. There are many showers in northern Taiwan, and the central and southern parts are sunny. Customs include moon appreciation, moon worship, ancestor worship, kite flying, egg standing, etc. For health preservation, go to bed early and get up early, eat more lung moisture-rising ingredients and combine them with light exercise. News highlights: the autumn equinox is an important boundary of the 24 solar terms, symbolizing the equal division of day and night and the turning point of climate. At this time, the temperature drops and the air is dry, which can easily cause dry throat and cough, especially for patients with long COVID. It is advisable to moisten the lungs and nourish yin, eat more grapefruit, pears, white fungus, yams, taro, etc., avoid spicy frying, and replenish sufficient water. Daily routine should go to bed early and get up early, pay attention to the temperature difference between morning and evening, and restrain your emotions to nourish your body and prepare for winter. News highlights: the autumn equinox of 2025 falls on September 23, and teacher Xiaomeng Taluo Yunwei pointed out that this is an important moment for energy transformation and financial luck to appear. The zodiac snake welcomes wealth through travel and off-site activities, the horse reaps surprises in speculation and partial wealth, and the ox reaps a bumper harvest of career and wealth with solid efforts. Among the constellations, Sagittarius is active in wealth, Taurus is stable in wealth, and Cancer is rising in wealth, all of which are reaching the peak of wealth. News highlights: the autumn equinox is evenly divided between day and night, and the climate becomes cooler, which can easily cause respiratory tract and skin dryness. Traditional Chinese medicine physician Zhou Daxiang reminded that healthcare should nourish the lungs and moisten dryness, soothe the liver and regulate qi, and choose white fungus, lotus root, yam, lily, pear, etc. in the diet to avoid spicy stimulation. Tea drinks such as qi and lung nourishing tea, and dietary therapies such as white fungus lotus seed soup are all helpful for healthcare. In addition, you can press the 3 acupoints of Hagu, Tansong, and Taixi, and use the principle of flat tonification and cool tonification, combined with moderate exercise and sunshine, to improve immunity and recuperate the physique. News highlights: Charlie Kirk, an American conservative activist and founder of TPUSA, was shot and killed on campus on September 10 at the age of 31. On Sunday, September 21, Trump delivered a eulogy at a memorial service in Arizona, calling Kirk a patriot and a great missionary, emphasizing his influence on young people and the importance of promoting the return of faith to the United States, and announced that he would be posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. News highlights: during the autumn equinox, the climate becomes cooler and drier, which can easily cause dryness symptoms such as cough, dry and itchy skin, and constipation. Traditional Chinese medicine recommends nourishing yin and moistening the lungs, and choosing moisture-rising ingredients such as lilies, lotus seeds, white fungus, yams, and pears in the diet to avoid greasy and spicy food. Acupressure massage of Tiantu, Lung Shu, and Qi Zi helps regulate lung qi. Work and rest should go to bed early and get up early, combined with exercises such as walking and Tai Chi to help nourish lung qi and soothe emotions. News highlights: the presidential election of the Liberal Democratic Party of Japan began on September 22, with a total of 5 members of the Diet competing to replace the outgoing Shigeru Ishiba. The new party leader will be elected on October 4 and is likely to become prime minister. The leaders are Sanitaka Ichi and Shinjiro Koizumi, and the winner will face challenges such as economic stimulus, the Japan-US alliance, regional security, and China policy. News highlights: the autumn equinox is divided into day and night, yin and yang alternate, and the kidney meridian is easy to see symptoms such as swollen feet, high blood pressure, anemia, and colds, and poor breathing, and it is easy to feel depressed. Health preservation can be combined with essential oils for conditioning. Sandalwood stabilizes the mind and relieves lower back pain. Indian Tibetan fennel helps digestion, clears menstruation, and activates blood. It is recommended to dilute it with jojoba oil and apply it to the chest and abdomen in the evening to relieve the discomfort of autumn dryness. News highlights: Chinese actor Yu Hao fell to his death in Beijing on September 11, and the police quickly ruled out criminal suspicion and characterized it as a drunken accident, which sparked heated discussions and doubts on the internet. The Cyberspace Administration of the Communist Party of China issued a strict celebrity gossip ban, and many platforms were interviewed for rectification. There are many doubts behind the incident. The public demands a thorough investigation, and high-level intervention and public opinion control have raised concerns about the transparency and credibility of the regime. News highlights: autumn is the gold of the 5 elements, and traditional Chinese medicine believes that autumn governs the lungs, and nourishing the lungs can enhance immunity and reduce respiratory diseases. After the autumn equinox, the climate is dry and the temperature difference is large, so you should pay attention to keeping your neck warm and adjusting your work and rest. Children also need to drink more water, keep warm, prevent dry cough and constipation, avoid spicy frying, and follow the solar terms to maintain vitality. News highlights: mainland actor Yu Hao fell to his death in Beijing on September 11, and the police characterized it as a drunken accident within 12 hours, causing doubts and widespread rumors among netizens. The background of the incident is complex, and the Cyberspace Administration of the Communist Party of China has issued strict control, deleting posts on multiple platforms and banning accounts, but the public continues to speak out, highlighting the pressure of public opinion and strong concern for the truth. News highlights: Taiwan's catering industry's revenue continued to grow after the epidemic, but the declining birth rate and young people's reluctance to engage in the service industry have caused a serious shortage of workers. The small and medium-sized catering industry has been pressured by large groups to increase salaries and compete for talents, and has adopted listing and ODC listing strategies to attract talents and investment to cope with talent competition and business challenges. News highlights: the Toyoaki City Council in Aichi Prefecture passed the country's first smartphone use ordinance, proposing that all citizens use it within 2 hours a day during leisure time, and that elementary school students and junior high school students and above use it before 10 p.m. The ordinance came into effect on October 1 with no penalties, aiming to promote healthy living and family interaction, triggering positive and negative opinions from citizens. News highlights: after flying solo in Fahrenheit, Chen Yuru shifted his career focus to mainland China, sharing fitness and health recipes with Coach Chen and Chef Chen on Zaya Hongshu, accumulating 51 fans. He exercises for 150 minutes a week on weekdays, teaches exercise, gymnastics and healthy eating, and shares parenting responsibilities with his wife Zheng Haiqiao. News highlights: the re-election of the chairman of the Kuomintang has entered a white heat, and the 2 big and 1 small 3-power pattern has taken shape. Zhang Luan started leading but lost points due to pro-China doubts on both sides of the strait, and the local faction turned to Hao Longbin. Hao integrated the local faction and the chairman and vice-chairman system, and the momentum was close to Zheng. During the election campaign, the 2 sides came and went to the north to pay their respects, and the blue camp focused on the integration of party affairs and the separation of cross-strait positions, with next year's 9-in-1 election and the 2028 presidential layout becoming key considerations. News highlights: the Central Meteorological Administration said that due to the impact of Typhoon Huajia and its peripheral circulation, there will be heavy rain or local heavy rain in the eastern half, the Hengchun Peninsula and the Jiaoping Mountains today and tomorrow, scattered showers or thunderstorms in the northern, central and southern mountainous areas and outlying islands, and there is a chance of long waves on some coastal and outlying islands, so the public needs to pay attention to precautions. News highlights: in the coming year, the authenticity of the drill will be improved and a new version of the Little Orange Book National Defense and Security Manual will be distributed to simplify disaster response information, teach the public to respond quickly in times of crisis, and emphasize social communication and national defense resilience. News highlights: JJ Lin went to London to attend the premiere of the movie F1, although he cooperated with Tommy Hilfiger to take fashion photos, but the PR temporarily added shots to make him tired and unhappy, and the PR only restrained after communication. JJ revealed that he was diagnosed with heart problems last year and needed to take medication every day to control it. News highlights: US President Trump signed an executive order to raise the new H-1B visa application fee to $10, which mainly affects the technology and AI industries, which may push up operating costs and impact talent introduction. The policy only applies to new applicants, and existing license holders and renewals are not affected, but the market is worried that the long-term innovation advantage of the United States may be affected, and technology stocks fell in response. News highlights: MIT Professor Ross visited Taiwan to share the latest research on AI and robotics at the Technology Forum, promoting liquid neural networks to improve computing and energy efficiency, and emphasized AI literacy, cross-species care, and industry-academia cooperation. News highlights: the Executive Yuan passed the draft version of the AI Basic Court, and the new session of the Legislative Yuan is expected to be reviewed. Scholars believe that the Basic Law can be used as the locomotive of the rule of law, establishing principles and policy directions, protecting people's rights and promoting industrial innovation, and at the same time urging relevant legislation in various departments, but rapid action and AI development strategies are still top priorities. News highlights: TSMC has gradually established a corporate culture of technology leadership, commitment, and integrity from a foundry known for its cheap, easy to negotiate, and obedient in the 1990s, relying on cost management and customer service, and has developed the 3M and SIXS strategies to become a global chip giant. News highlights: CITIC Bank, a subsidiary of CITIC Gold, is expected to exceed the share capital this year, break the 15% limit on cash dividends paid to parent control, increase the dividend distribution space and cash yield next year, and also provide more silver bullets for mergers and acquisitions. The legal person estimates that the probability of achieving the annual net profit after tax is high, which will further increase dividend flexibility and market imagination. News highlights: Taiwan stocks surged 302 points yesterday, 22nd, to close at 25,880 points, hitting a record high, driving 25 Taiwan stock ETFs to hit new highs simultaneously, covering passive, active and leveraged ETFs, with Fubon Taiwan 50 and Yuantat Taiwan 50 positive too with a scale of more than 10 billion yuan. Experts suggest that investors can increase their market capitalization or technology ETFs during shocks, and at the same time balance the layout of high dividend ETFs to take into account both offense and defense. News highlights: as bid stock price fell by about 30% this year, Berkshire also increased its holdings of Japan's Mitsui & Co., with a shareholding ratio of more than 10%, becoming a major shareholder, showing continued optimism about Japanese trading companies. News highlights: TSMC's 2nm process mass production is imminent, and 15 major manufacturers have followed suit, benefiting key consumables stocks. Shenyang is expected to seize the opportunity due to the sharp increase in demand for recycled wafers. China Sand accounts for more than 80% of the diamond disc market, and performance growth can be expected with the increase in the number of CMP layers. The supply-demand for coyote targets has surged simultaneously, and the operating prospects of the 3 cooperative factories are promising. News highlights: outdoor brand Arc'teryx and artist Cai Kyokyong set off fireworks in the Himalayas, causing environmental controversy, and both the brand and studio apologized and cooperated with the investigation. Arc'teryx has turned to fashion and revenue growth in recent years, but the use of PFAS materials in alpine fireworks incidents highlight the contradiction between its business expansion and sustainability responsibility, and the brand must take into account both market and environmental ethics. News highlights: Israel and Egypt reached a $350 billion natural gas export agreement in August, planning to export about 130 billion cubic meters of natural gas to Egypt by 2040, which will make Israel an energy power in the eastern Mediterranean, strengthen Egypt's LNG export position, and help Europe reduce its dependence on Russian natural gas and create a new pattern of regional energy cooperation. News highlights: Minister of Environment Peng Kaiming has been in office for more than a year and has achieved remarkable results in promoting carbon reduction, plastic reduction, and resource recycling. PM 2.5 dropped to 12.8 micrograms per cubic meter, the recovery rate reached a new high, and the use of recycled containers exceeded 228. However, the promotion of carbon fees faces political and communication challenges, and he has gradually persuaded large emitters to adopt reduction plans through corporate discussions, cross-ministerial collaboration, and social communication. In the future, we will continue to promote net zero transformation, green energy overhaul, and environmental culture construction to strengthen air pollution control and sustainable life. News highlights: Kaohsiung Xingda and Lingkou power plants have failed one after another, and Taipower has activated backup units to maintain power supply. The deployment of renewable energy has accelerated. Haisheng wind power has started 495 MW, photovoltaic efficiency has been improved, and Yangming Shipping has signed 7 LNG dual-fuel ships. The gap in temporary garbage storage and incineration at Taichung's Dali landfill has decreased. Climate change has caused Aedes aegypti mosquitoes to move north, and the risk of dengue fever has expanded, requiring cross-regional cooperation in prevention and control. News highlights: the 2025 Teachers' Day, Mid-Autumn Festival, and National Day holidays will be surrounded by traffic waves, and national highways will implement ramp closures, high occupancy control, and toll suspension measures, and the speed of National 5 vehicles may drop to 5 to 7 times that of weekdays. Gao Gongzhi recommends avoiding peak hours and encouraging medium and long-distance passenger transport to enjoy up to 60% discount, or switch to alternative road transportation. News highlights: the Double Ninth Festival is approaching, and the pension in 22 counties and cities in Taiwan varies greatly, with the elderly over 65 years old in Hsinchu County receiving 1 yuan, while Kinmen County has not paid it. The estimated expenditure of the pension in Taiwan this year is at least 68.85 billion yuan. Experts suggest that instead of discovering money, it is better to invest in health, exercise, and long-term care incentives to truly reduce the burden on families and society. News highlights: during the Fubon Titans Pampering Angel themed day event last week, Korean cheerleader Nam Minyoung and the cheering team leader Travis had a sweet interaction, including holding hands, looking at each other affectionately and borrowing a fake kiss, which sparked enthusiastic reactions and discussions among netizens. Player Lia Renli also shared a video on the community, humorously marking teammate Zhang Ting-ai, causing laughter. News highlights: Kaohsiung's Dali Sky Park will be closed for renovation from October 1, 114, and is expected to reopen with a new look in February 115. The park promises to keep classic facilities such as the pirate ship, and the old tickets can still be used. The news caused people to reminisce about their childhood, and some netizens sighed my childhood and looked forward to the garden experience that combines the old and the new. News highlights: strong typhoon Burj Gaza is moving towards the Sea of Guangdong, China through the Bashi Strait, and Taiwan's land warning can be lifted this morning, 23rd. The island is gradually out of the storm circle, but its outer circulation is wide, the rain is strong, and the coastal wind and waves are still strong, and the rainfall may last for 2 days. Netizens were amazed by the clear eye and spectacular momentum of the typhoon, and were glad that it did not make landfall in Taiwan. News highlights: an accident occurred on the afternoon of the 22nd in Qinggongling camp in Taichung. An 18-year-old recruit surnamed Xiao was suspected of exploding when shooting a T91 rifle, causing serious injuries to his left face and left eye. His eyeball fell off, and there were metal fragments in his brain. The army set up a task force to investigate, and the cause is still to be clarified. News highlights: the Kuomintang chairman election will be held on October 18. 6 candidates actively canvassed votes. The party leader who once considered running for election, it is rumored that he canvassed votes from party legislators to support Hou Longbin in taking charge of the party, while the reformists Zhang Luan and Luo's Haiqiang also showed their strength, and the conservatives and reformists in the election wrestled fiercely. News highlights: Jun Ji-hyun starred in the Disney and drama Storm Circle, which was accused by Chinese netizens of insulting China because of the lines and scene settings of episode 4, causing controversy. Many Chinese platforms of many brands withdrew their endorsement advertisements, with an estimated loss of more than 200 million yuan, but their agency clarified that only some advertisements and activities were postponed, not cancelled. The series has not been officially launched in China, and the controversy mostly stems from pirated viewing. News highlights: a serious military accident occurred in Qinggong Ridge, Taichung on the 22nd, when an 18-year-old recruit surnamed Xiao fired a T91 rifle for unknown reasons, causing severe injuries to the left face and left eye, eyeball loss and metal fragments in the brain, and was rushed to the hospital for rescue. The 10th Army Corps has completely suspended the use of guns of the same type, established a special investigation into the cause, and continued to supervise the safety regulations of the troops. In addition, there have been recent reports of a fire accident in the military during a Humvee exercise, but fortunately there were no casualties. News highlights: the Legislative Yuan is currently deliberating on the special budget bill for the general issuance of 1 yuan in cash, which can be distributed as soon as late October. The Executive Yuan discussed the addition of the do not receive option, which triggered criticism from DPP legislator Wu Saiyao for disturbing the people, and many legislators called for a review of whether to add this option to take into account the people's free choice and administrative efficiency. News highlights: the Central Meteorological Administration continued to issue maritime typhoon warnings, and the wind and rain were most obvious from the evening of the 22nd to the 23rd. Hualien, Taitung counties, Kaohsiung, parts of Pingtung, and some schools in Yunnan were suspended on the 23rd, and the rest of the areas were as usual. Whether to take typhoon leave is subject to the announcement of the local government and the Executive Yuan. News highlights: international gold prices soared, rising more than 40% in a year, and exceeded $3,700 per ounce on September 16, but the domestic silver business was deserted, due to the high entry threshold, and many existing holders have taken profits. Experts suggest that you can invest through gold ETFs, which are low cost and have no deposit risk. News highlights: if a small lump resembles a mole appears on the face, it may be a common skin cancer, basal cell carcinoma, which tends to occur in the head and neck, often accompanied by ulcers or piping-like bulges. Experts recommend seeking medical attention as soon as possible, with surgery as the main treatment, with an overall cure rate of over 90% and follow-up for at least 5 years after surgery. News highlights: doctors point out that 30 to 40-year-olds may also suffer from early-onset colorectal cancer, which is related to vitamin D deficiency due to love of sweets, fast food, and lack of sunlight. It is recommended to eat a balanced diet, have a regular schedule and exercise to reduce the risk. News highlights: after Huang Luzian, Lulu, and Chen Handian announced their marriage in a high-profile manner, they appeared at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Taipei on the 19th to survey the wedding banquet venue. From the banquet hall, bridal room to the tasting of dishes, it took more than 5 hours. The two interacted tacitly, showing the groom's favorite wife's side, and also initially planned the wedding process and the scale of relatives and friends to participate, and the details of the wedding banquet are still to be officially announced. News highlights: 46-year-old artist Chen Qion and her 9-year-old husband Alan have been married for 3 years, and have a casual attitude towards having children, admitting that their patience is limited, and they think that life is for themselves, and it doesn't hurt if they don't have children. She once mentioned that family trauma affects her interest in parenting, and she patiently devotes herself more to her furry children, demonstrating women's reproductive autonomy and self-worth. News highlights: DPP legislator Wang Yushuan held a press conference to explain the follow-up incident of being followed by 4 people last year. He pointed out that one of the followers, surnamed Li, may be the same person as the assistant of the same name when Huang Qiuakang, chairman of the People's Party, ran for the Zizi legislature in 2016, and the assistant received a salary of 33 yuan at the time. Wang called on Huang to respond to whether the assistant is currently working for Case International and related associations, and the identities of the other 3 followers are still under investigation. News highlights: the onshore warning for strong typhoon Gaza was lifted at 8:30 a.m. today, 23rd, and it is expected that the maritime warning will be lifted in the evening, and it will be downgraded to a moderate typhoon tomorrow morning or noon. Although the typhoon is moving away, the peripheral circulation still brings heavy rainfall and huge waves, with local heavy rain in the mountainous areas of Huadong and Jiaoping, and huge waves above 6 meters in Pingtung and Taitung coastal areas. News highlights Korean actress Jun Ji-hyun starred in Storm Circle because of the sentence "Why does China prefer war?" Causing dissatisfaction among mainland netizens, the Daobon score plummeted, and was cut by international brands such as La Mer and Piaget, with an estimated loss of more than $900 million. The agency only turned off the IG message function and did not respond officially, and the incident continued to spread. News highlights G-Dragon will return to the Taipei Dome on November 1st and 2nd to hold the 2025 World Tour Ubermans Encore. The organizer announced that the VVIP package will cancel the send-off link, and the ticket price will be reduced from $8,980 to $7,980, and it will be changed to VIP rights. The fan lottery and ticket purchase process remain unchanged, and CITIC card holders will enjoy priority ticket purchase on September 26. News highlights Chen Handian and Lulu announced without warning that they would hold a wedding in January next year, and were recently photographed appearing at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Taipei to survey and taste dishes, showing 12 years of tacit understanding. Chen Handian denied creating a Disney-style wedding, only revealing that Wu Zongxian would be the officiant, emphasizing that the wedding would be a happy and joyful celebration. News highlights Chinese actor Yu Hao fell to his death. The official has not announced the details, but conspiracy theories are everywhere from all walks of life, and it is rumored that he was drunk and drugged at the party, and was even pushed downstairs, involving high-level factional struggles in the CCP. Commentator Zhang Feng pointed out that Yu Hao was suspected of being a political victim, and the incident was used to attack the XI faction, and the cause of death is still confusing. News highlights Kyle, Sister Butterfly, faded out of the entertainment industry because of her involvement in the love triangle between Luo Hixiang and Zhou Yangqing, and announced last year that she would be promoted to a mother. Now celebrating her 42nd birthday, she rarely posted a frontal photo, which has hardly changed compared with 5 years ago, still maintaining a girlish feeling, and taking a photo with her son to celebrate her birthday. Netizens praised the beauty of frozen age, and she also responded with thanks and blessings. News highlights the 37-year-old actor Yu Hazy fell to his death and the suspicion was unresolved, and it was rumored on the internet that actress Song Yiran was involved in drinking and on-site filming, causing controversy. Song Yiran today entrusted a lawyer to issue a statement, solemnly refuting the 4 major accusations of pulling people to accompany the wine and the video involved in the case, emphasizing that they are all malicious fabrications, and have filed civil lawsuits against some netizens, and warned that the defender will be held legally responsible. News highlights senior host Lin Anna, known as the Carrie White of the broadcasting industry, passed away on September 16 at the age of 90. She is Taiwan's first Mandarin and Taiwanese dual-voice announcer, hosting programs such as Good Afternoon and Labor Club, and has been with listeners for more than 60 years. Guo's Hung radio station issued a message of condolences, thanking her for her warm and sincere voice that will always remain in people's hearts. News highlights NVIDIA and OpenAI announced on September 22 that they will jointly deploy at least 10 GW NVIDIA systems as the core of OpenAI's next-generation AI infrastructure, requiring 4 to 5 million GPUs, with an initial investment of $100 billion expected to be launched in 2026. Huang Rongsun emphasized that this is the largest cooperation in NVIDIA's history, and the news has driven the stock price to soar nearly 4%, with the market value approaching $4.5 trillion. This move will not only consolidate NVIDIA's market dominance but also drive a global AI infrastructure investment boom. News highlights after a year of preparation, Bolt, a well-known European ride-hailing platform, officially entered Taiwan on September 23, targeting the Baibikantao area for the first time. Bolt focuses on cheaper passengers, more cost-effective drivers, with commissions 5% lower than its peers and waived passenger platform service fees, breaking through with price wars. General Manager Zheng Xianhong emphasized that Bolt will first focus on the core service of ride-hailing, not play the subsidy war, and aim to win the support of drivers and passengers in Taiwan's Red Sea market. News highlights under the trend of generational change and blue-white cooperation within the party, his attitude has made a 180-degree turn, from criticizing K-Wens in the past to public support, emphasizing that he has turned the page with grievances and released a signal of cooperation. Although this move was recognized by the pro-Hao faction, it still caused noise and doubts within the party. News highlights a few days ago, when President Li Qiang went to Yulan Lanyang Girls High School to inspect the National Disaster Prevention Day drill, he took a friendly photo with the students. One of the affected female students decided to file a complaint, accusing relevant netizens of damaging their reputation, and said on the community, "It's actually difficult to take the step of filing a complaint, and I'm very anxious." The school responded that it respects the rights and interests of students and pointed out that the process of the incident is not fully understood. Students also called for discussing political positions to be expressed rationally and not to attack others. News highlights DPP legislator Wang Yushuan accused Kuomintang legislator Su Kioxin of illegally driving photos posted in 2024 by suspected to have been obtained by 4 followers employed by Keith International. Wang Yushuan further pointed out that one of the people involved in the case had the same name and surname as Wang's former assistant, and if true, Wang should bear political responsibility, he called on the official to find out the relevant relationship to clarify the truth. News highlights internet celebrity Guoji expressed his dissatisfaction with the invitation of Bailakuo News to interview the Impolite Villagers group and announced the severance of diplomatic relations with the show. Kelly responded with tears in the show, and then burst into emotion and shouted, "You are the strongest, you do it," and the rift in the friendship between the two sides sparked heated discussions among netizens. News highlights former People's Party chairman Kay Wenz appeared in court again due to the Jinghua City and political donation case, and today, 23rd, the North Court summoned Li Wenjun to testify. Kay Wenz appeared wearing a mask, and although he had a cold and cough, he still shook hands frequently with the supporters Ayako at the scene in response, showing people-friendly interaction. His wife Chen Paiki revealed that he has been in poor health recently, and the electronic shackles are often contacted by the Science Control Center due to poor signal. News highlights a female high school student in Tainan was prosecuted for stealing Huang Weij's Facebook photo and spreading false information about typhoon holiday. News highlights Chinese actor Yu Hao fell to his death this month, officially called a drinking accident, but many suspected abuse videos circulated on the internet, triggering conspiracy theories and discussions. The authenticity of the video has not yet been confirmed, and the Beijing police have dealt with those who spread false content in accordance with the law and continue to rectify rumors. News highlights Chen Xiaoming, the leader of Zhonghua's 2013 Sun and Moon Minggong abuse and murder case, was released on parole and admitted that he was most afraid of dying in prison when he was in prison. At that time, the teenager surnamed Zhan was imprisoned for 18 days and was abused to death for a long time, and Chen Xiaoming was sentenced to 13 years in prison. After being released from prison, Chen Xiaoming said that he is not a spiritual mentor and will focus on life, emphasizing that "I have come to life." News highlights a Taiwanese woman was deliberately hit on the shoulder by 4 strange girls when she got off a bus in the UK, and was punched and kicked to the ground, with multiple bruises on her face. The bus driver and passengers watched coldly, and only a passing couple tried to stop them. The police did not deal with it immediately, and the original Po called on the public to pay attention to safety and hoped that the government would intervene in the matter. News highlights since August, the Ministry of Health and Welfare has promoted the Outpatient Intravenous Antibiotic Injection, OPAT, policy, allowing infected patients to receive antibiotics in outpatient clinics without hospitalization, which is expected to benefit about 2 people every year. Li Jianzhong, an emergency physician at National Taiwan University Hospital, pointed out that if mild patients are treated with OPAT, the average hospitalization can be shortened by 1 day, a large number of beds can be released, and patients can reduce nosocomial infections and accelerate recovery when they return home. News highlights Japanese actress Miho Nakayama passed away 9 months ago, and the whereabouts of the farewell party caused controversy. The agency Big Apple said that the balance will be handed over to the bereaved family, but it has not been delivered due to inheritance issues. Sister Shinobu Nakayama is concerned about whether the form of the farewell party respects the family's wishes, emphasizing the protection of her sister's dignity, and the ashes are temporarily placed in the sunlight of the home to accompany the last journey. News highlights grilled fish at the Taiwanese night market has sparked heated discussions, using big-tailed Taiwanese sea bream belly with seasoning spices, priced at 180 to 300 yuan. Netizens have different views on value. Some people think that the IQ tax costs less than 1/3 of the price, while others appreciate the convenience and deliciousness, saying that they enjoy tasting it occasionally. News highlights former People's Party chairman Kay Wenz was released on bail of 70 million yuan after being detained for 1 year in the Jinghua City and political donation case. His wife Chen Paiki first said that he had bed sores on his buttocks, but later changed his mouth and diagnosed himself with HPV infection, and criticized the Beijing Institute for poor cleaning. On the 23rd, the North Court held a court session. Kay Wenz wore a mask and coughed, shook hands with supporters, but did not respond to health problems. News highlights in response to Master Shizaowi's proposal to refuse to receive 10,000 yuan, the executive yuan originally discussed adding a not receive option, but it was criticized for being too much. Executive Yuan spokesperson Li Huizi said on the 23rd that due to the need to build a separate identity verification system for the additional page, it may increase the risk of personal information and delay the timeline, so it was decided to maintain the original collection channel to ensure a simple and smooth distribution process. News highlights the unified invoice for the 114-05 and 06 months was drawn on July 25, with a special prize of 1,000 yuan numbered 47406327 and a special prize of 200 yuan numbered 05579058. As of September 23, there are still 1,200 and 4 million invoices that have not been received, and the consumption location and amount have been announced, and the winning people are reminded to bring their ID cards and invoices to redeem before November 5, and do not wait for overdue. News highlights more than 100 households in the well-known construction project in Dujin, New Taipei City, purchased decoration and home appliances from Alto Design Company, and suddenly stopped in the middle of the construction, and the manufacturer lost contact, and the victims lost 5,100 yuan per household, with a total initial estimate of hundreds of millions of yuan. The consignment said that it did not intervene in the recommendation, and the Housing Insurance Association had intervened to arrange mediation, and the lawyer suggested that the residents deposit the certificate letter to protect their rights and interests. News highlights Huang Xian, a thoracic and critical care specialist, pointed out that PM2.5 in air pollution can pass through the alveoli into the blood and brain, and long-term accumulation will cause inflammation, oxidative stress, and toxic protein accumulation, damaging neurons and accelerating brain degeneration. Studies have shown that for every 1 μg/m superscript 3 increase in PM2.5 concentration, the risk of Alzheimer's disease pathology increases by about 20%. He recommends wearing N95 masks, using air purifiers, exercising outside of pollution periods, and consuming antioxidant foods to protect brain health. News highlights Taiwan's Ministry of the Interior's National Immigration Agency announced that the online entry registration form, TWAC, will be fully activated from October 1, and the paper entry card will be retired. Passengers can fill in online 3 days before arriving in Taiwan, and the system will automatically generate a declaration certificate, without showing paper when entering Taiwan, and supports 7 languages, Chinese, English, Japanese, Korean, Thai, Vietnamese, and Indonesian. News highlights U.S. President Trump declared on September 22 that pregnant women using the over-the-counter painkiller Tylenol, acetaminophen, may be related to autism, and recommended that pregnant women only take it for medical needs such as high fever. This remark caused controversy and contradicted the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists and the scientific consensus, with Tylenol's parent company Convo emphasizing the safety of taking acetaminophen and refuting Trump's statement. After the news was announced, Convo's stock price fell to an all-time low of $16.97, down 7.5% in a single day and 21% in a single month. News highlights shocking news. NVIDIA announced on September 22 that it will invest $100 billion in OpenAI to support the construction of data centers worth hundreds of billions of dollars, using NVIDIA's AI chips. It is said that OpenAI will deploy up to 100 megawatts, 10 GW, systems, which is equivalent to 400-500 GPUs. This news drove NVIDIA's stock price up nearly 4%, with a market capitalization of about $4.5 trillion. The two sides said that the investment will be invested in phases, with NVIDIA being a preferred supplier of OpenAI chips and network equipment, and the first phase is scheduled to be launched in the second half of 2026, using the NVIDIA Rubin system. News highlights driven by the theme of AI. Taiwan stocks broke through 26,000 points on September 23, and TSMC broke through a new high of 1,340 yuan intraday. Analysts pointed out that TSMC's high weight, steady profit growth, and support from interest rate cuts and AI capital expenditure make the medium and long-term trend of Taiwan stocks bullish, but it is still necessary to pay attention to risks such as tariff rulings and bond market fluctuations. News highlights NVIDIA announced a strategic cooperation with OpenAI, investing up to $1,000 billion to build a 10 GW data center, using millions of GPUs to support AI model development. The news inspired U.S. stocks to close higher across the board, with NVIDIA's stock price soaring nearly 4%, highlighting the close cooperation and market influence between the two parties in the field of AI infrastructure and computing power. News highlights silicon photonics technology is regarded as the core of AI and high-performance computing, HPC, due to its high light transmission efficiency, and can also be applied to network communications, biomedical sensing, and autonomous driving in the future. The United States is leading in research and increasing capital investment, Europe is actively deploying applications, and Taiwanese network equipment manufacturers have the opportunity to benefit from the growth in demand. News highlights gold prices continued to hit new highs, reaching $3,755.47 per ounce during Tuesday's session, supported by possible U.S. interest rate cuts, geopolitical risks, and increased central bank purchases. Although the demand for jewelry has declined, the investment demand for gold bars and gold ETFs is strong, and it is expected that gold prices will remain high in the short term. News highlights mainland actor Yu Hazy fell to his death, officially calling it an accident, and online conspiracy theories are prevalent. His mentor Song Zud angrily bombarded the mainland media for silencing the post, and it was deleted in less than 5 minutes, causing heated discussions. Netizens reinterpreted his live broadcast gestures and hidden poems before his death and asked for help, but the police have ruled out criminal cases and punished the rumor mongers. News highlights today's autumn equinox. Soha pointed out that the 4 zodiac signs of the dragon, monkey, ox, and pig will usher in good luck, the dragon's career breakthrough, the monkey seizes the opportunity, the ox accumulates thickly, and the pig is blessed. Promotions and salary increases, and the help of nobles are all expected. As long as you remain positive and optimistic, you can create a new situation. News highlights the latest research from Harvard University points out that natural lithium in the brain may be the starting factor of Alzheimer's disease. Lithium is depleted when combined with toxic amyloid plaques, causing early brain changes and memory loss. Experiments have found that low-dose lithium orotate can reverse cognitive impairment in mice and protect neural synapses, and is expected to become a new strategy for early diagnosis, prevention, and treatment of Alzheimer's disease in the future, but it has yet to be verified in human clinical practice. News highlights: at the intersection of Section 2 of Datong Road and Section 1 of Zonghua South Road in the East District of Tainan City, a serious car accident occurred at 8:33 a.m. on the 23rd. A truck collided with a motorcycle for unknown reasons, and the female rider, who was in her 40s, had a brain spiller on the spot and died obviously. As for the detailed cause and process of the accident, it still needs to be further investigated and clarified. News highlights: Deputy Director and General Manager Wu Xiniang revealed that the performance in the first half of the year was hit by nearly 20%, but in the second half of the year, a number of projects were launched to inject growth momentum, including the opening of the Tainan Zio Bay store, the renovation of the Nangzi store food hall, the opening of the SKM men's hall on the third floor of A9 on October 16, and the cooperation with Hyundai department store in Korea to attract young customers. News highlights: Typhoon Burj Gaza brought heavy rainfall, and the dammed lake of Matayan Creek in Hualien is expected to overflow today, and the local area is on full alert. The village chief and the police notified residents to evacuate 2 days in advance through broadcasters, patrol cars, and text messages, and the Matayan Creek Bridge was closed and the Suhua Highway was closed to ensure the safety of the people and residents, and relevant units were prepared for disaster prevention. News highlights: the Taipei and Shanghai Twin Cities Forum was originally scheduled to be held in Shanghai on the 25th, but because some ministries and commissions have not yet approved the content of the Memorandum of Cooperation, the Beijing city government and the other party decided to postpone it. The Mainland Affairs Council said it was an accident, and the Blue Camp lawmakers questioned the central government's difficulties. Media person Huang Bihan believes that the Twin Cities Forum is a municipal exchange platform and there is no doubt about the United Front, and suggests that even if political tensions are tense, we should have the courage to promote municipal, cultural, and industrial exchanges to cool cross-strait relations. News highlights: former legislator Shen Fuqiang criticized the arrangement of the Kuomintang chairman's candidacy debate, pointing out that Wang Zhong Group and affiliated organizations criticized Hao Longbin, and named Guo Zhengliang, Qiu Yi, Cai Zheng Yuan, and Zhou Ziwei. Qiu Yi refuted that he was not an affiliated organization and asked Shen Fuqiang to clarify within 3 days, otherwise he would file a civil and criminal lawsuit, emphasizing that he had not participated in Zhongtian and China television programs for more than 10 years, and that his comments had nothing to do with Wang Zhong, and criticized Shen for belittling the legitimacy of his comments. News highlights: Typhoon Huajia hit Yulan, and the wind and rain were strong this morning, but the county government did not announce a complete suspension of work and classes, causing dissatisfaction among parents and netizens. Acting County Magistrate Lin Maosheng said that the rainfall does not meet the legal standard, and each school can decide to suspend classes according to the situation. News highlights: a Thai woman in Taichung, Promin, broke up with her boyfriend and threw 10 hamsters alive into the toilet and filmed a video to upload to the internet, causing social outrage. The Taichung District Court sentenced her to 60 days of detention and a fine of 20 yuan in accordance with the Animal Protection Act, on the grounds that she intentionally harmed animals and distributed images of harming animals. News highlights: the Yangzhou Football Association launched a tree ticket plan to allow fans who cannot buy seats to hang on the trees outside the stadium to watch the game. Each tree is limited to 3 people, the maximum weight is 80 kilograms, the age limit is 18 to 40 years old, it is prohibited to hang upside down, and you must bear the risk of being hit by bird droppings. Yangzhou Stadium originally had a capacity of 2 people, but after renovation, additional seats and grass were added. News highlights: a thrilling car accident occurred on the evening of the 22nd in Baitu, Taipei, when a 46-year-old woman surnamed Liu was riding a motorcycle to return home with her 10-year-old son. She crashed into the fast and slow lane separation island on a suspected rainy night. The police preliminarily determined that poor visibility on rainy days was the main cause and reminded drivers to slow down and drive slowly. News highlights: Chinese actor Yu Hao recently fell to his death, and the official report was an accident, but conspiracy theories circulated on the internet, saying that he may have been drugged or pushed down from a height, and involved in the CCP's factional struggle. Commentator Zhang Feng said that the incident may be a political operation, but the relevant allegations have not been officially confirmed, which has sparked heated discussions in the community. News highlights: according to a survey by United Daily News, the number of people who are dissatisfied with Liking's handling of cross-strait relations has increased from 43% to 63%, and satisfaction has dropped to 26%. The China Department of the Democratic Progressive Party emphasized that cross-strait tensions stem from the CCP's threat, and the majority of the people support maintaining exchanges and strengthening national security protection under equal dignity, calling on the CCP to face up to Taiwan's existence and stop cultural attacks and military intimidation. News highlights: Kuomintang legislator Su Qiaoxin met DPP legislator Wang Yushuan in the VIP room of Dawin Airport, pretending to be a fan and asked for a group photo but was refused. Su responded in the community that he would take photos of Wang in the legislative yuan, and denied that it was related to the companies or people involved in Wang's allegations, emphasizing that the photos were provided by the public. News highlights: the Ministry of Health and Welfare announced the top 10 causes of death among Chinese people in 113 years, with heart disease ranking second, and coronary atherosclerosis being the most dangerous, with most of them asymptomatic in the early stages. Doctors remind that people with high cholesterol, family medical history, sedentary lifestyle, staying up late, and stress are high-risk groups, and should prevent acute myocardial infarction and sudden death as soon as possible through exercise, healthy diet, and examinations such as electrocardiogram, CTA, and calcification index. News highlights: after mainland actress Zhao Lucy fell out with the agency Galaxy Cool Entertainment, she appeared in Xi'an department store as a brand spokesperson on the 20th, attracting a large number of fans to crowd the 6-story building, and the event ended early. Zhao Lucy shed tears backstage after the event to thank her supporters. She had previously criticized the company for not fulfilling its compensation responsibilities and cancelled her Weibo account to switch to Zaya Hongshu Induyan. News highlights: British 29-year-old actor Tom Holland accidentally fell hard while filming the stunt of the new film Spider-Man: Rebirth and suffered a concussion, and was rushed to the hospital for treatment, and filming was suspended. The crew also announced the suspension of filming, and it is expected that the filming schedule may be delayed by several weeks. There was also a woman suspected of being injured and sent to the hospital in the incident. News highlights: Kuomintang presidential candidate Luo Zhiqiang held a political symposium in Taichung on the 22nd, announcing that he would file a lawsuit against former UMC chairman Cao Xingcheng for 1,000 yuan, accusing him of spreading rumors during the general recall, and if he wins, he will donate it to the Kuomintang to establish a green fund. Luo emphasized that the party chairman should have unity and combat effectiveness, and promised not to elect a president during his term, and was committed to removing Li King from the shelves to support generational change and unity within the party. News highlights: in late September, the Labor Insurance Bureau will successively distribute labor insurance annuities, monthly retirement pensions, maternity benefits, funeral benefits, etc. The labor insurance annuity was recorded on the 26th, with an average of about 19,151 yuan per person. The maternity benefit can receive 39,522 yuan at a time, and the funeral benefit can receive 98,805 yuan at a time. News highlights: tropical disturbance 92W in the eastern waters of the Philippines may intensify into Typhoon Boroi, the 20th typhoon of the year, on Wednesday or Thursday, heading towards Luzon. In the coming week, there will be local brief showers in the afternoon in coastal mountainous areas in Yulan, Hualien, Taitung, and areas south of Zumiao, and the public needs to continue to pay attention to the latest meteorological information. News highlights: the temple said that it symbolizes the appearance of Ksadagarba Bodhisattva and the blessing of local peace, attracting a large number of believers to worship. News highlights: physician Xiao Zhijian reminded that the plastic film, PE or PLA, on the inner wall of the paper cup will release a large amount of microplastics when heated, which may interfere with hormones, affect the thyroid gland and metabolism, increase the risk of obesity, diabetes, and cancer, and may also disrupt the intestinal flora and cause chronic inflammation. It is recommended to use less paper cups to protect health and reduce plastic waste. News highlights: on September 15, Chen Handian and Lulu attended the new album listening and sharing session of their friend Su Jipei's new album for the first time after publicly confessing their love. The two secretly dated for a year, and through Su Jipei's hypnosis, they confirmed that they were each other's favorite and most suitable partners, cultivated their relationship in a low-key manner, and did not make the good news public until they decided to spend their lives together. News highlights: although the mainland actor Yu Hazy fell to his death by the official tone as an accident, actress Sun Lin was threatened one after another after speaking out for him, and even went out to get a courier and was hit by a flower pot and sent to the hospital, which aroused netizens' concern about safety. Beijing Chaoyang police reported the results of the investigation on the evening of the 21st, and after on-site inspection, forensic examination, and surveillance investigation, the suspicion of a criminal case has been ruled out. News highlights: Japanese actor Hiroshi Shimizu was also arrested for possessing 0.392 grams of marijuana at home, and the Tokyo District Public Prosecutor's Office prosecuted him on the 22nd for violating the Narcotics Control Act. He admits that he has been using it occasionally since studying abroad in 2019, and his frequency of use has increased in recent years. The defense lawyer has applied for bail, and the case has attracted much attention in the future. News highlights: mainland actor Yu Hao fell to his death on the 11th, and the police ruled out homicide, but the incident is still suspicious. His mentor Song Zud posted on Weibo on the 21st to criticize the silence and question the studio's death announcement, and the post was deleted after only 5 minutes left, and the account was banned, causing fans to pay attention to the truth. News highlights: TSMC stock price opened higher on the 23rd and rushed to 1,340 yuan, hitting a record high, driving Taiwan stocks to break through 26,300 points intraday. Analysts pointed out that due to the Fed's interest rate cut and hot money inflows, the price-to-earnings ratio is expected to be revised up to 25 times, and the stock price has a chance to challenge 1,500 yuan this year. At the same time, CoWoS equipment stocks, AI servers, and PCB copper foil substrate stocks are also worth paying attention to. News highlights: Spitznagel, a U.S. stock fund manager, predicts that the S&P 500 may soar to 8,000 points, an increase of nearly 20%, due to factors such as the Federal Reserve's interest rate cuts, but warns that the bull market reversal may be the most violent since 1929. He used tail risk protection strategies to make huge profits when the market fell sharply, even if the big rise and potential sell-off coexisted. News highlights: a fatal car accident occurred at the Zonghua Land Bridge in the East District of Tainan City this morning, 23rd, and a large truck collided with a female motorcyclist in her 40s for unknown reasons, causing the other party to be killed on the spot. The police closed one lane at the scene, and the cause of the accident is still under investigation. News highlights: the unified invoice for May and June 114 has been drawn on July 25, and the Ministry of Finance reminds that the redemption deadline is until November 5. There are still 4 unclaimed special prizes of 1,000 yuan in this issue, 3 unclaimed special prizes of 200 yuan, and 4 cloud invoice million prizes have not been claimed. News highlights: the Meteorological Administration lifted the onshore warning for strong Typhoon Gaza this morning, but expert Xu Xingxing pointed out that tropical disturbance 92W in the eastern waters of the Philippines may generate typhoon number 20 Boroi on Wednesday and Thursday, with a high probability of moving towards Luzon. There will still be sporadic brief showers across Taiwan in the coming week, and the public should continue to pay attention to the latest weather forecast. News highlights: on the evening of the 21st, false information appeared in Tainan City, and a female high school student stole Mayor Huang Weij's profile picture, falsely claiming that the city would suspend work and classes on the 22nd, causing public misunderstandings. The city government clarified that it was untrue, and the police launched an investigation in accordance with the Social Order Maintenance Act and the Disaster Prevention and Rescue Law.